pleading guilty yesterday of the 2 charges he was facing. Before we get into any of my questions, would you like to comment on that?
Well, I think I'm pleased with the outcome. As you can imagine, it was an incredible undertaking. An investigation of this scale and scope was very taxing. But I must commend the Richmond Police Department's Major Crimes Division, Detective Crewell, who was the lead investigator in this case, our forensic technicians, and our partners, Virginia State Police, VCU Police, Henrico even helped, FBI, ATF, all participated in this case to come to this successful conclusion. And I must say how impressed I was with the Richmond Commonwealth Attorney's Office. Their skill and acumen in prosecuting this case was evident.
And so, any death is obviously tragic, and unfortunately, there was also another death going along with Shawn Jackson. We're talking about his stepfather, Lorenzo Smith. There are many unanswered questions in this matter still, even after the sentencing of Amari Pollard yesterday. So, can you tell us who shot Lorenzo Smith?
Well, I think a lot of that came out in the trial. There are 2 more scheduled trials that are pending, so I think that we'll leave it there. That's where some of that additional information will come out. So I'll take my lead from the Commonwealth Attorney who made similar remarks.
A specific question from that day. Do we know at what point in time Lorenzo was shot?
It was all part of the same event. So this event was over within seconds. So.
And I'll ask, court records indicate that 2 of Jackson's friends have been charged with reckless handling of a firearm. We have to ask, are those charges related to the death of Lorenzo Smith?
Those charges are related to the incident in general. So as you know, it's not just Renzo Smith. There were 5 other people wounded in this exchange. So this all took place in one event. And I think that, as those cases move forward, we will be able to answer some of those questions that didn't come out in the trial. But if you'll remember, I had planned maybe a week or so after this incident on giving a community update based on information that I learned in between to when we scheduled the update as to when the press conference was going to go forth. I learned more information, and after consulting with the Richmond Commonwealth Attorney's Office, we felt that it would be inappropriate to speak about those details. And the reason that decision was made, as much as I don't like breaking my word even with the media, I felt it was appropriate at the time to do a video release to answer some of the questions that I could. And I know that wasn't very satisfying. But what it helped ensure was the successful conclusion of the case against Amari Pollard. Because what we owe our community and the families and the victims in this case is the truth about what happened. And the truth came out, a lot of the truth came out at trial this week. And the other thing we owe is to the defendants in this case. So Amari Pollard deserved a fair trial, and I think we were able to accomplish that as well by being conservative with some of the things we were releasing. I know there was a voracious appetite from the community to know what happened because this is such a tragic event and because it affected so many in our community at not just the scale of how many people were affected, but where it happened is important. So this was an event where people should have felt safe. It was a joyous day for many. I'll never forget how I felt looking at that crime scene and seeing, caps and gowns strewn around the crime scene with bloodstains on them in some cases, looking at all the women's shoes that were strewn throughout the area that was roped off. And what that told me was that people were so afraid and terrorized that they ran out of their shoes at an event where they should have been celebrating with their families.
The last question for you. Are any more charges pending? You can tell us.
I don't anticipate any more charges or different individuals being charged. So those are obviously decisions, though, that are made by the Richmond Commonwealth Attorney's Office. So our role in this investigation is to be fact finders, to provide evidence to the Commonwealth Attorney's Office. When it comes to charging decisions, they make that call. And I think that I'll leave it to them to determine what the best cases are that we can prove in a court of law.
In our reporting, what the department confirmed to us, a total of 4 guns were recovered from the scene. 1 tied to Amari Pollard, another tied for someone who is not involved in the matter, and 2 that are unaccounted for. What did you say about that?
Well, I think the two that were unaccounted for that came out in court on who those belong to.
Thank you so much, Chief.
Thank you.